AI thieves win one round, but the game isn't over yet. Hello and welcome back to my writing journey. I'm Byerrum, a mystery writer, a playwright, a spinner of tales and short stories. My topics here on the writing journey include the craft of writing, sometimes gossip around writing, sometimes current news, or tips on how to approach your work in progress. Last time, I discussed attending the 1940s ball with an eye on research and how it helped me write my 1940s novel, The Brief Luminous Flight of the Firefly. If you enjoy those sorts of things, please hit the like button and subscribe on YouTube. Today, my topic is the ongoing AI, artificial intelligence, theft of millions of writers' books. It reminds me of the old joke about a child who kills his parents, then throws himself on the mercy of the court because he's an orphan. This time, courts in California recently found for the thieves. That's right, the thieves. But there may be some light at the end of the dark tunnel, and it could cost and should cost the thieves mucho dinero. Ching ching. Today's tale concerns Mark Zuckerberg's Meta and another AI company called Anthropic, which both were the subject of court cases. If we think about this whole rotten tale of theft, entitlement, and piracy as the outline for a book, perhaps a bestseller, it's not exactly a thriller. It's not exactly a mystery. It's definitely in the true crime genre, wherein billionaires take bread from our mouths just for giggles. This chapter is not one of the fun ones, not for the writers at least. You may want to keep score or just come along for the ride. Several months ago, The Atlantic magazine broke the story that Mark Zuckerberg's Meta stole millions of books to train AI. Meta didn't ask permission, it simply stole them. More than 7.5 million books. That number's very interesting, keep it in mind. That is very close to the Anthropic number of books that it's talking about. And I wonder, is this a co-op of pirated material or collusion between thieves? According to the Atlantic article, Meta decided it would take a long time to acquire the rights legally. Oh dear, and be terribly expensive to pay the rights holders, especially for billionaires. So it's faster and cheaper to steal them first. Sound business principles, I'm sure. How much faith in the system can we lose? We've lost a lot this past year, believe me. And keep in mind, they don't care. They are as blank as the robots they want to build with their ghastly robot voices. This is AI. You can check whether your own books have been taken by Meta on the Atlantic's website. I can't help think Jeff Bezos, yes, Bezos, is part of this too. Who else has the capacity to supply those 7.5 million books? And of course, I looked for mine and found a number of my books in the LibGen or Library Genesis database. All 12 of my crime of fashion mysteries are on the list, including the prequel, The Brief Luminous Flight of the Firefly, as well as The Woman in the Dollhouse, which is my thriller, and a middle grade mystery, The Children Didn't See Anything. However, it did not have my latest book, Crook Tales for Two, in which I included this disclaimer. I will read it. Any use of this publication to train generative artificial intelligence AI technologies or to generate text is expressly prohibited. The author, that is me, reserves all rights to license uses of this work for generative AI training and development of machine learning language models. I recommend henceforth, always, to include a disclaimer on your works. I know I will, even with your copyright notice, because it doesn't protect us as much as we like to think. Today I'm also talking about a company called Anthropic, which means nothing. Its website claims, quote, "We aim to show what responsible AI development looks like in practice." They claim, quote, "AI safety research is urgently important and should be supported by a wide range of public and private actors." but says nothing about the writers from whom they steal. Like many other technologies that proclaim they are safe, how many poison pills and unanticipated consequences lie within the AI looming debacle? This is my opinion as a former job safety and health reporter. We have seen many times products are deemed safe and sent into the marketplace only later to find they cause cancer or break bones or fall and crush your children. These may wind up crushing the writer's heart and soul, stealing what is rightfully ours. Now to court. A U.S. District Court judge in San Francisco ruled last month, in June, that Anthropic's use of books without permission to train its artificial intelligence systems, a chat box named Cloud, was legal under U.S. copyright law. Why? Because up is down and black is white and hot is cold. And this is America today. According to the Associated Press news story, Judge William Alsup said the AI systems distilling from thousands of written works to be able to produce its own passages of text qualifies as fair use under U.S. copyright law because it was, quote, quintessentially transformative. I'll call that the fair use Frankenstein clause. Yes, writers live their lives dwelling in the land of books, reading them, discussing and debating them, and coming up with our own stories from a lifetime of learning and discerning and research and reading. Give 10 writers one idea and we will come up with 10 separate stories. But an AI robot doesn't have a soul, does it? We've seen gross errors made by AI on the web. Certainly not enough to train it to do the right thing. AI companies argue their systems make fair use of copyrighted materials to create new transformative content, and that being forced to pay, oh dear, copyright holders for their work could hamstring the burgeoning AI industry. Billionaires cry crocodile tears right before consuming their victims. This, of course, is egregious self-serving nonsense, total BS, and I'm not about to give them an even break. They don't deserve it, they don't give us one, they don't get theirs. Their bottom line is, how can we steal writers' works and get away with it? Laughing all the way to and from the bank in the Cayman Islands. Judge Alsup also said, however, that Anthropic's copying and storage of more than 7 million pirated books in a, quote, central library, apparently the thieves market, infringed the author's copyrights and was not fair use. The judge has ordered a trial in December to determine how much Anthropic owes for the infringement. I certainly will be paying attention. U.S. copyright law says that willful copyright infringement can justify statutory damages of up to $150,000 per work. A second case. Mark Zuckerberg's Meta also has won the backing of a judge in a copyright lawsuit brought by a group of authors in the second legal victory for a U.S. AI industry this week. The writers, who included Sarah Silverman and Ta-Nehisi Coates, had argued that the Facebook owner had breached copyright law by using their books without permission to train its AI system. The U.S. District Judge Vince Chabria in San Francisco said in his decision on the Meta case, said that the authors had not presented enough evidence that the technology company's AI would cause market dilution by flooding the market with works similar to theirs. How do we know? As a consequence, Meta's use of their work was judged a fair use. According to Slate magazine, Chabria sided with Meta, but appeared to do so regretfully, stating that Meta's use of the writer's work to train its bots isn't necessarily legal, but that the plaintiffs made the wrong arguments. Wow. Chabria dismissed as nonsense, as I do, Meta's claim that the public interest would be badly disturbed if AI developers were blocked from using copyrighted works freely. In his conclusion, Chabrias expressed sympathy for the argument that large language models take authors' work and then turn it against them. He wrote, quote, "No matter how transformative LLM training may be, it's hard to imagine that it can be fair use to use copyrighted books to develop a tool to make billions or trillions of dollars while enabling the creation of a potentially endless stream of competing works that could significantly harm the market for these books." This ruling does not stand for the proposition that Meta's use of copyrighted materials to train its language models is lawful, Chabria said. It stands only for the proposition that these plaintiffs made the wrong arguments and failed to develop a record in support of the right one. That seems to leave open the door to refile later. Unfortunately, this sounds to me like allowing a lot of crime to go forward before the plaintiffs establish the right record. Now, getting back to the hypothetical bestseller based on this, a mystery writer would fit in several dastardly demises of thoroughly despicable characters, while a thriller writer would jump pages in death and destruction, leaving believability far behind. A careful Columbo, however, would methodically break down the fallacies of the criminal companies with the inevitable, "Just one more question, sir," and driving them crazy. That would be pretty good. That's all I have for today, but I'd love to hear if you have any potential titles for this resulting book. Let's see. And I'll see you next time. Bye.